That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
Crazy. This is crazy.
Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
What's up, campers? Welcome back to episode 75 of Camp Strange. I'm your camp counselor, Alex Tobin.
And I'm your camp counselor, David Stokes.
And we're back to bring the spooky, wacky, weird, strange, and international?
Yeah?
International man of mystery?
If you'd like.
Speaking of mystery, I just want to cover this really quick. I didn't go to the Winchester Mystery House, but I went to another place on the coast of California this weekend.
Okay.
I went to Hearst Castle. Have you been there before?
I have not.
So it's like William Randolph Hearst.
Okay.
He was like he struck it big in silver, and like he owned like 27 media publications, and what the movie Citizen Kane is actually based off of his life.
Yeah.
But that castle is really cool. It's like right on the coast. It's kind of by like Big Sur, and it's super creepy. It's like, I mean, it's not really creepy. It's all about how you look at it, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know how anybody lived in that place. It's like super weird.
I had to Google real quick. What classifies as a castle?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, it has to be. Is it a certain size? Is it the material? Is it the structure, like what the architect used?
So a castle is a type of fortified structure built during the Middle Ages, predominantly by the nobility or royalty and the military.
Okay, so this might be like the champagne. This might be the sparkling wine of castles.
Yes, exactly.
Where it's like, it's not really a castle, but we'll call it champagne.
Yeah.
But it's cool because he has the
Oh, wait, hold on. It's usually considered to be the private fortified residence of a lord or noble.
No, he was American.
Yeah.
He wasn't a noble or a lordsman and anything. But he did have like pillars from like actual Greece that were like thousands and thousands of years old. He had Egyptian shit. I know that's not exactly
scientific.
Are you not supposed to say Egyptian shit? But it was super cool. It was like really cool.
Yeah.
It was kind of creepy. I don't think it's haunted, but they had like tours of different wings of the house, and I did like the main tour.
Oh, so it's a house now. I see how it is.
I gotta go. But I just wanted to, I mean, we didn't get to the sex dungeon, but I assumed there was one down
There's always
there.
one.
I mean, if you have that much money, interesting fact, he was worth $129 million, and at one point he was $127 million in debt.
Whoa.
So they made him sell like all of his shit.
Broke even, huh?
Basically. But yeah, it's crazy. I just wanted to throw that little fact out there. If you guys want to go to Hearst Castle, it's really, really cool. And it's on the coast of California. Beautiful drive. And there's a bunch of elephant seals right near the castle. So
Oh, I love sleeping to the sound of elephant seals.
they're fucking gross and cute at the same time. They fucking scream at each other. And they don't move far.
No.
They move a couple feet and they lay back down. I'm like, it's going to take you a while to get to that ocean, aren't you?
Yeah.
So, yeah, go check it out. It's really cool. Hearst Castle. But we like to keep you up, keep you updated on any news, keep you up.
We like to scare you and keep you up at night.
Let's put this podcast on while you sleep. We have to keep you up. But on any weird news that you might have missed during the week, and David, I have this one right here as former Drexel professor arrested and accused of spending $185,000 in grant money on strippers, sports bars, and, of course, iTunes.
Yeah, iTunes is what gets you. That adds up.
That's the only reason I chose it. I'm like, what are you spending your money on iTunes for?
Oh, I mean, does that fall under apps?
Imagine if he was buying... Okay, wait. Let me read this really quick. So they noticed between 2010 and 2017 that he had no receipts for like a bunch of shit. And he apparently tried to pass the strip club expenses as catering and food costs, but they actually ended up finding out that he spent $96,000 on adult entertainment venues and sports bars, as well as more than $89,000 on iTunes purchases, meals, and other unauthorized purchases. So I don't know how much of it went to iTunes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a slippery slope because you start buying, all of the Star Trek movies and all of the James Bond
And
movies.
the Beatles discography.
Yeah.
That's on there now.
Metallica.
These are like 2010 references, I think.
I
Like,
don't know.
They've been on there for a while. But yeah, I
Just
just
get Spotify, man.
I just remember like on my actual iPod, I had a couple movies, but I remember I had like a bunch of celebrity death matches on there.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
that show?
Didn't we rewatched an episode recently? Didn't we?
I think we might
A couple
have.
months ago, and it was not as good as I remember.
It's fun, maybe when you're like high or a child, but
kind of the
yeah,
same idea.
Yeah, it's not like quality entertainment, but it's whatever. But
Yeah.
I used to watch like the same episode. I had like one episode from like 3 shows, and I used to watch that same episode in like class. I'd be like,
Oh yeah.
like Human Giant. Do you remember Human Giant? No. Aziz Ansari, Paul Shear, Rob Hubel. No.
Oh.
It was a sketch show back in
Yeah,
the
I
day.
kind of do remember that.
Anyway, it doesn't matter, but
I remember what was that one kid's name? The professional Ryan Sheckler.
oh, I had a Life of Ryan episode.
Yeah,
It was like free on iTunes.
and I couldn't get rid of it. And then, so now it just says that I have
is it?
supported it. Like, and it wasn't like his actual show. It was like a spin-off of like Life of Ryan or something like that.
Like Life of his little brother, like Caleb or something.
Yeah, and that will forever be
It's the first
burned into my iTunes account.
It's the first U2 album on your phone. You know,
Probably.
everybody had the U2 album that they freaked out about.
Yeah,
Life of Ryan.
I deleted the music app from my iPhone because I was so sick of it jumping to the first song every time I started my car.
Hello, hello.
I don't even remember what the
hola.
first song was. I'm not even gonna say it was a bad song
I'm just saying
by any
Vertigo.
means, but like holy hell, just like every time I started my car, I would hear that same fucking sound. So I just had to delete it.
Anyway, so that was quite a tangent, but apparently he bought the whole every season of Life of Ryan.
Yeah,
He had to
which
have.
was one.
I think there's a couple.
God.
I liked that show back in the day.
All right, I got one here. Facebook apologizes for translating Chinese President Jinping's name as Mr. Shithole. Oh boy,
Wait, not even President Shithole?
Mr. Shithole.
What?
The quote was, "Mr. Shithole, President of China, arrives at 4 p.m."
That's really funny.
Yep.
I
They don't know
mean-
why it does that. There's probably one guy at Facebook that knows why it does that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he probably just said like this word translates to this word, which
Yeah.
is really funny. I wonder. I mean, he probably scrubbed it clean. They probably can't trace it back to him.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
They said this should not have happened, and we're taking steps to ensure it will not happen again.
Oh God.
Oh, well, it's a good thing they're banned in China.
That's the guy that everybody said looks like Winnie the Pooh,
Yep.
and then he freaked out and like banned Winnie the Pooh
Yeah. Just any image, any
of
movie.
Winnie the Pooh.
Christopher Robin, you're fucking done, bud.
Your ass is grass.
Get out of here.
Whoa, very cool. Well, gotta go.
Very
China,
cool.
tell him he's gonna ban shit from the country.
Yeah, you can wear in a Winnie the Pooh shirt.
No more buttholes.
Get
Sew 'em
killed.
up. Centipede. So, I have another one. As Evil Squirrel has already sent 2 mothers to hospital in Texas.
That's my kind of squirrel.
So, I just love it because they have a bunch of quotes. So, Texas neighborhood of Cypress has a squirrel attacking helpless victims, sending at least 2 women to the hospital so far. And it says, while the squirrel's antics are initially seen as innocent and playful by local residents, things took a quick turn for the worst after a woman tried to dissuade the bushy-tailed bully from tearing the screen off her front door one fateful morning. And here's the quote. When I stepped outside the door, he leaped on me and bit my arm. I pulled off, threw him to the ground, and I tried to get in the house. I couldn't get in the house because he came back and he bit my leg. Later that day, she had to receive stitches for the deep wounds at a
Those
local
fuckers got big
hospital.
teeth.
Yeah, that is pretty scary, actually. And then somebody said, we usually don't go outside in the daytime because he comes out in the daytime.
I gotta ask you something real quick.
Yeah.
Have you noticed just a large a larger presence of big ass rats in LA lately?
No. Wait, your house or like where?
Just like all around.
No.
No, they're not in my house. They're just in my neighborhood.
Oh no. There's one that runs across the telephone wire in my.
They do
neighborhood.
that.
Yeah. I always see them doing that.
I was in my buddy's backyard and I saw like 3 doing that. I've lived in
That's
this
a
place
party.
for like over 3 years, and it wasn't until like these last few months I just see them all the fucking time now.
Well,
I'm not changing my routine or anything.
Are you still sleeping with the craft singles all over you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not. That's perfect for my skin. I'm not gonna stop doing that.
I guess, yeah.
Stop trying to get me to stop doing that.
I won't. Sorry.
Got the landlord knocking on my door every night, checking my bed.
It's a landlord. It's just a bunch of rats in a trench coat. David, come out, David.
That would explain why he never answers my phone calls.
That's a rat impression I just did. David.
That's very good.
But no, they're fucking scary. The last thing this lady says is, "I'm just grateful that it actually attacked me and not my children."
That's fair.
It is fair.
I think that's fair.
Anyway, watch out, Texas. Hey, you can complain about your squirrels all you want. You ain't got no Texas squirrels. Cause what they say about Texas?
Everything's big in Texas.
Yes,
You don't mess with Texas.
Everything you don't.
Texas has too many sayings.
They do have too many sayings.
Come on now.
What's another one? We have a lot of land. No one wants to live on it.
Come eat our waffles and our toast. Texas toast.
I like Texas toast.
They also, what's that one about cars?
Big-
Don't leave your car running, or we'll snatch it up.
Big cars. The bigger the car, the bigger the stain when you hit the thing.
Our keys are bigger than yours. No dinky little keys gonna start my truck.
Our doorknobs turn to the left. What do they say in Texas? Something like that?
Yeah. Their toilet, the water doesn't go clockwise.
It shoots straight up in your ass.
Yes. No, that's
Anyway.
Japan.
That's Mr. Shithole's country.
Oh, sorry.
That's why he got his name. Why do you think he won?
That's true.
Anyway, well, what's your last story?
Joe Biden calls game developers little creeps
I saw
who make titles that, quote, teach you how to kill. Do you think Joe Biden knows what's going on in the military? The place that teaches you how to kill.
I love it because you go like, Joe, what do you think about video games? He goes, I'm fucking ruining this country. Like, what's your favorite movie? John Wick.
Yeah.
Like, that guy killed so many people.
The guy calling people little creeps when he was like sucking on his wife's finger at a goddamn rally.
You love that about him.
I'm just saying, that's documented. That
Well, Joe
happened.
Biden's got a lot of flack because wasn't he smelling people's hair before that or something like
Probably.
that? I just think he's an old man. This is like old man shit.
We were talking about before we started recording, and I just thought it was so interesting that when he was vice president, you didn't really hear much of it, but nowadays it's like everybody's like, oh yeah, Joe Biden's a total creep.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot more slander about him these days.
Yeah, no, there is. Like, yeah, he was like the golden child, and then
Yeah.
like people were like, "You think you can run now?" Actually, when he first announced his presidency, people were like all in, and now people are like slowly picking him apart.
Yeah. Yeah, no, politics.
He's kind of funny though.
It's hilarious.
He's kind of like just a tame Trump a little bit.
Mm,
He challenged somebody to a fucking push-up contest.
yeah, that's true.
I
He did.
mean, I don't want to get into politics. I like Bernie though. He's my guy so far.
I had no idea.
Me neither.
I'm not going to discuss this.
I'm voting for shithole.
Yeah.
Shithole for president. Okay. Well, I guess we should get into these news stories now.
Let's put it in drive.
Okay. But before we do that, we have to send a special shout out to Spring Heel Jack that has sent us some of their newest beans. Experiment number 13. I don't know what that is, but I hope it turns me into a squirrel.
Oh,
A big squirrel.
real nutty flavor.
And I hope you got them cheese nuts because I'm coming for you. Anyway, yeah, so come check out.
Cheese nuts.
Cheese nuts.
Is that a thing?
No.
It is now.
Okay, Spring Heel Jack. If you guys want some good coffee, go check them out. They're great people. They have good coffee, and yeah, it's. When is it a bad time to drink coffee? Never. So go check them out. They're on Amazon. What's not to like? Use all your Amazon gift cards that you got for Christmas from your uncle. He doesn't know what you're interested in.
Yeah.
You like the rainforest? Here's an Amazon gift card.
Gift card.
There you go. So go check them gift card. So go check them out. Springhilljack.coffee. Okay, let's do this, David. Now, David, I didn't really have a way to ease into this topic because usually I come with something where it's a question that relates to your life or to the story. But I couldn't really find a very, nuanced way of doing it. So I'll just say, David, have you ever killed your brother?
Is that the end of the question?
For revenge.
Oh, not for revenge, no.
It was for Totino's pizza rolls.
I absorbed them in the womb because I knew that I would get less Totino's pizza rolls as a child if I had to share with a twin. So now I'm twice as powerful, and I've got 2 personalities.
Wow, that is cool. So most people haven't killed their brother, but one man in particular has.
That's a good stat.
But well, Cain and Abel, I can think of them.
Yeah.
Or which one killed Cain killed. You know the reason I know that story is because of WWE.
I feel like we've talked about this
I'm
before.
like, the biblical thing says Cain, Undertaker.
But Undertaker, what?
Anyway, so, like I said, a lot of people haven't killed their brother, but this particular story is, it was pretty big in the news a couple years ago, so I really wanted to cover it because there was a lot of stuff I did not know about it. So let's get into the story of the... Don't hit the mic when I'm going to say it. The assassination of Kim Jong Nam.
Ah.
Do you know about this?
I now that you said that, I'm like, oh yeah, he have a brother that was supposed to take over, and then he got him killed, so then he could take over, right?
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still no proof.
I've never read into it.
Okay, listen.
So I don't know any details.
So this might get a little lengthy, hopefully not too bad, but let's get into it. So before we get into the incident, I want to cover a little bit of his early life and probable reason for Nam's assassination. So Kim Jong Nam, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I don't know, but he's dead, so whatever. So Kim Jong Nam was the first son of Kim Jong Il from his first marriage, and at first Nam was treated very well, being the firstborn son. It wasn't until Kim Jong Il got himself a mistress and had 2 more sons, Kim Jong Chul and Kim Jong Un, that Kim Jong Nam would fall in the ranks. It's really hard to say Kim Jong for every single name in this damn story.
Yeah. So this is gonna sound ignorant.
They say their last names first.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, it's that was kind of hard for me to wrap my head around too. But yeah, Kim Jong is the last name. Kim's the last name. I don't know.
Probably Kim Jong.
Yeah.
Because they're all Kim Jong, unless they're really strict about that middle name thing.
Because there's Nam is the oldest, Chul is the middle.
That's another like mind-blowing thought is if Jung is the middle name, so then the middle name is before the first name, so making it still a middle name.
Oh, wait, did I say Kim Jong-un or Mr. Shithole?
Very different countries, but okay.
Am I gonna get killed now?
Probably.
Well, he's a shithole too.
What if we just kept pushing this podcast until we got killed? Let's start talking about real sensitive stuff.
So
Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself.
Like I was saying, there was Kim Jong Nam, who's the oldest, Kim Jong Chul, who's the middle, and then Kim Jong Un, who we all know that was the youngest. And when the 2 youngers came into the picture, that's when he fell in the ranks. So when his 2 brothers came into the picture, he was immediately sent to a posh school in Geneva, Switzerland, being pushed away by his father to not have influence over his brothers. You see, Kim Jong Nam was described as depressed, lazy, and lacking initiative.
So just a normal person?
No, this was not 2019. This was earlier, so
okay.
You're supposed to be happier back then.
Yeah.
Which most likely meant he was not likely suited for the throne. But it was also very crazy that he had his mistress and he had 2 sons, and the sons were like legitimate. But I think he might have married her. So she started off as like a mistress, and then I think his first wife died, maybe mysteriously.
Okay.
You know how...
Sometimes you just die.
You know how wives of dictators do that sometimes?
Yeah, they just die. It happens.
So
Don't worry about it.
So on Nam's 24th birthday, though, he was given a general's uniform and was soon assigned posts in the secret police and the ruling political party. Although his father tried to groom him, it seemed like it was not working, as Jong Nam was still constantly depressed, missing the freedoms that he had come accustomed to in the West, as well as his numerous luxurious vacations he took a year. So he was like, there's no In-N-Out burger here. There's no what did Texas got? They got big burger.
Big Boiger.
Was like they got on the
Give me one in Big Boiger.
New York. They got Shake Shack, right?
Shake Shack.
Wanted the burgers and he wasn't getting what he wanted. So 2 things happened next that sealed the deal with his father, Jong Il. First, there was rumors that Jong Nam was being extremely lenient with defectors of the country, so he was demoted to manage the country's information technology systems instead of managing hit squads. Next, in 2001, Jong Nam was arrested trying to sneak into Japan on a fake Dominican passport with the Mandarin alias Fat Bear. During a 3-day detention, he confessed he wanted to visit Tokyo for what reason?
For the anime?
Disneyland.
Oh, I forgot they have a Disneyland there.
Yeah, so that was very embarrassing. One, to find out that like in his own country that his son was being soft, and you're like, I'm a dictator. You can't be like, if some guy's trying to defect, you have to like kill him, you have to like torture him.
Yeah.
And you're being nice. You can't do that. Second one, now not only his country but the whole world found out that a dictator's son tried to sneak into Japan and go to Disneyland.
Yeah. Makes you look soft.
And the guy's like 30 something. So it's like,
Oof.
not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying you can't be a dictator's son and also go to the happiest place on earth.
It's not allowed.
Not allowed. So when word got out about the immature heir to the throne, Papa Jong Il became
Papa Jong's in the house.
Papa Jong Il became humiliated. What made matters even worse was the press about Jong Nam sporting a diamond Rolex and his wife rocking designer bags while North Korea was suffering famine. So it's a very bad look on his dad. Be like, you're giving him money to go buy Rolexes, and
I guess my
there's
question
no food
is,
in the country
has there ever been a good look?
with a diamond Rolex, with a diamond encrusted Rolex?
No, with just any of North Korea rulers in their country being poor.
No, do you know that like Kim Jong Il's dad had like a giant growth on the side of his head? Did you know about this?
No.
Okay, I don't talk about this in the story, but I think it was his dad had like a giant tumor on the back of his head, like behind his ear, and it was so big, he couldn't get it removed because it would affect like his nervous system or something like that, because there's too many nerves attached, and he would only be photographed from one side because he didn't want anybody to see it. But there's a few pictures out there.
Oh yeah, there's a picture of it,
and it's fucking gigantic.
That's a big ass growth.
It's so gross. So Jong Il immediately canceled a diplomatic trip with his son to China. And for at least a year, Jong Nam did not return to North Korea, and as he waited to be readmitted to Pyongyang, his temporary vacation turned into a permanent exile in Macau, the Las Vegas of China. So he basically went on vacation, asked his dad if he could come back.
Daddy, please.
He's like, yeah, we're full over here. I think we're at capacity, man. You got a girl with you? You could come in if you bring 3 girls. If you're bringing 3 girls, well, that's club rules, right?
Oh, I thought you were actually saying that he said if he brought women back, he'd be okay.
No. Like when you try to get into a club in Vegas, they don't let guys in unless you
or
come
anywhere.
What's the ratio? So at this point, the questions started to come as to who was to usurp the throne when Kim Jong-il died. It was clear to see soon after that Kim Jong-il's youngest son, Kim Jong-un, was being primed to take over as he was promoted to high military and political posts. In 2011, when Kim Jong-il died, Kim Jong-un stepped in and consolidated power as he stood next to his father's casket. Kim Jong-nam, nowhere to be seen.
Ooh.
Which is kind of fair, though, because he kind of got kicked out of his fucking country, so...
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
He probably still couldn't even attend.
Yeah, I mean, his dad died, so I guess, but, you don't want to step foot in there. It looks like you're just coming to take the throne now, you know?
And I don't know, I might not be the most educated person on it, but from what I hear, when people leave that place, they typically don't want to go back.
No fucking joke. So, shortly after Nam found out about his brother's accession to power, he emailed Japanese journalists calling his half-brother a, quote, a joke to the outside world, and stating that Kim Jong-un's regime would not last long. Shortly after these statements, Kim Jong-un had his mentor and main rival, his uncle, killed, reportedly used anti-aircraft guns to execute disloyal officials, and aggressively developed nuclear missiles capable of striking America. Kim Jong-un was ruthless and wasn't afraid to go after family. Imagine using an anti-aircraft gun on a person.
Oh, yeah.
I told Katie that. I was like, yeah, he's just using anti-aircraft guns on people, blowing them to smithereens. And she's like, I haven't heard anybody use that word ever. I'm like, it's a word.
Which word?
Smithereens.
Oh, yeah. No, those are rounds that are meant to explode an
Yeah.
aircraft, not a human body.
Yeah, it's blow you into little tiny pieces.
It would fuck an elephant up real good.
So basically, he just threw shade at his half brother, and then his half brother killed his uncle, blew people up with missiles at baseball throwing distance, and
No, well, probably not.
and
Probably had to get some distance. Or
well,
else
it's an
it'd backfire.
anti-aircraft gun. I don't think it's I think it's just a big ass bullet, right?
Yeah, but it could still bounce back and hit you, I think.
To be completely honest, would you want to get hit with one of those, or just shot up with a Tommy gun?
I think I'd rather get hit with one of those.
Me too. At
It'd
least
be
you're
over in a second.
Yeah, at least you're really done, right?
Save money on.
But it's kind of humiliating. You're just a bunch of little pieces everywhere.
Yeah, but you'd save a lot of money on the whole,
You're in a dust
getting burnt
pan.
up.
What?
The whole oven thing.
Oh yeah.
Cremation, that's the word.
I'm
blanking on that.
I'm about to get shot up. I'm like, sprinkle me in this field, and they're like,
Yes, sir.
no problem. Also, some over there.
Yeah,
that's not a problem either, buddy. So Kim Jong-nam was in danger, and he knew it. First, his funds from the regime were cut off. Then he had to start dodging attacks. In 2010, a North Korean agent in China was ordered to give a sack of cash to a taxi driver to stage an accident, but Jong-nam never arrived at the scene. He ducked another attempt in 2012. The same year, he sent a letter to Jong-un begging, "Please withdraw the order to punish me and my family. We have nowhere to hide. The only way to escape is to choose suicide." But little did he know, suicide would not be an option at this point. So crazy. It's just such a fragile ego to be like,
yeah,
you're a bad leader. And he's like, I'm going to do everything in my power to he dodged 2 attacks basically. And then he sent a plea to his brother to be like, please don't kill me. And he's like, yeah, not good luck. I'm going to do it anyway. So now let's get into the assassination. So at 9 a.m. on February 13th, 2017, Kim Jong-nam walked through the Kuala Lumpur International Airport in Malaysia. As he stopped to check the flight times and began to walk to the nearest kiosk, all of a sudden, an Indonesian woman in stylishly torn jeans and a gray sleeveless top slipped out from behind a pillar. She covered his eyes as if playing peekaboo and then wiped her hands over his mouth, leaving an oily smear.
Ugh. Ugh. With mayonnaise.
You got smeared.
Mayonnaise, I'm allergic to that.
I'm a human bagel. So, Jong-nam naturally became frightened and yelled, "Who are you?" While the woman responded with, "Sorry, sorry," before running off. So she screamed, "Sorry, sorry." It's going to be funny once you realize what's going on. It's not, but it is. So she screamed, "Sorry, sorry," before running off. While the first woman ran off, a second Vietnamese woman wearing a white jumper with LOL printed across the front, very apt, threw her arms over his shoulders and rubbed her hands across his face while also laughing and saying sorry before running off. Has that ever happened to you at an airport?
Yeah.
Okay. That's
all
I needed to know.
Yeah.
Jong Nam, did you ever find out what the oily substance was?
No.
Well, we're going to find out today. So Jong Nam began to rush to the bathroom, but at the last second rerouted himself to an information desk to file a complaint about the two women instead. Little did he know that if he just went to the bathroom and washed off the liquid, he may have survived. But instead, he left the liquid on to seep deeper into his skin. You see, the liquid was VX, a chemical weapon that the CDC calls the most potent of all nerve agents, and that the United Nations classified as a weapon of mass destruction.
So hold on, were they wearing gloves or was it like a suicidal thing?
No, they were not wearing gloves. But I'll get into.
Okay.
I mean, you if he just went to the bathroom and washed it off,
Yeah.
it wouldn't have seeped into his skin. But they also say a lethal dose could have been as small as a drop if not washed off immediately.
Yeah.
So you have to wash it off. If it seeps into your skin, that's when you're fucked.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So if anybody touches you at an airport and they feel like they just ate a bucket of chicken, run to the bathroom, get yourself a moist towelette, do
Unless it's
whatever
me.
you need to do.
Because I'm always oily, because I'm always eating the chicken.
I want to hold your
I
hand.
need that chicken.
Chickum.
The chicken.
So he moaned in broken English, very painful, very painful. I was sprayed liquid.
Oof, ouch, owie, ow, owie.
Which is when he was escorted to the police. But by the time he reached the police, the muscles in his face had begun to cramp up, making it impossible for him to speak.
So he looked like Indian Joker.
He did look like Indian Joker. That is such a deep reference. If anybody has TikTok, I guess look up Indian Joker. He's not good, and David likes him a lot. So disregard that. So,
I mean, it looks like his face is all cramped up.
yeah, he got cramp face.
He's got a bad case of the cramp face.
You ever been on the treadmill? My face is cramping.
I'm gonna Google cramp face.
Don't Google it. That's Krampus. So, like I said, his face began to cramp up, making it impossible for him to speak, resorting to only groaning and jabbing at his face. I don't know what jabbing at your face is. What is that? It's like a punch?
He's jabbing at his own face?
Yeah, he's not jabbing at the police's face. He's jabbing at his own face.
He's like
I think he's
praying
like
mantis kind of thing.
Yeah, I think he's like jabbing at it, being like, why aren't these muscles moving anymore? But the police then decided to take him to the medical clinic in the airport once he saw Indian Joker's face. But after 3 minutes of walking to the medical center, his knees stiffened up and his feet dragged. The nerve agent was taking hold of his entire body, relentlessly stimulating his muscles and exhausting his respiratory system and heart to the point of near failure. He reached the medical center, fell into a leather chair, and began to seize. His lungs contracted, never relaxing to allow air out. Nurses fixed him to an oxygen tank because of this. When he was stretchered to an ambulance, paramedics discerned a faltering heartbeat, but en route to the hospital, it flatlined. He had lasted little more than 15 minutes after the poisoning. Crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
And what was it called again?
XV. Oh, VX? Let me see. VX, I'm sorry.
Sounds like a dirt bike.
I'm a mechanic. That's why my hands are this oily. Please don't be alarmed, mister. I just thought you look like my friend. Indian Joker, my friend. You know him?
Motor oil.
So, let's get into what happened after the death, because then it got really interesting as well. After Kim Jong Nam's death at the airport in Kuala Lumpur, it initially appeared that Kim Chol. He initially appeared as Kim Chol as he was identified on his diplomatic passport. The Korean equivalent of John Smith had died of a heart attack. That's what it looked like. It just looked like this guy named John Smith who with this fake ID.
Have you ever met a John Smith?
No.
I have.
Is that a real person?
Yeah, it's a lot of them.
What about like a John Doe or a Jane Doe?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever met anybody with the last name Doe.
No, I don't think so either. So Malaysian authorities didn't have a clue about the nerve agent, nor did they know they were dealing with a person of geopolitical importance. The only thing that could have given authorities pause was the $120,000 found in his backpack, divided into 4 bricks of $100 bills. Experts would later suggest that he had received the money during a 2-hour meeting with a CIA agent, likely in exchange for information about the regime. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
Like, more and more shit keeps coming out. So, I mean, this is also 2017, but the next day, South Korea announced that Kim Jong Nam had been murdered. That's right. South Korea had announced it.
They got their little brother's back.
So many people thought it was strange. No, South Korea and North Korea really don't like each other.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
That's why I said little brother, because usually it's like...
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
No, so many people thought it was strange that South Korea knew about the murder before North Korea, but many believe that Malaysia called the wrong Korea by accident.
Whoops.
But Malaysia
50-50.
Malaysia still denies it to this day.
Yeah.
So if you answer
Didn't they lose a plane?
If you answer the phone, you hear like Cape. What?
Didn't they lose a plane that's
Who?
super famous? Malaysia.
It crashed. I mean, is there proof of that crash?
That's the one that like it just disappeared.
Yeah, Malaysian Airlines.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I think so.
Yeah. That was like almost 2 years ago now too.
No, that was like way longer ago.
Was it?
I think so.
Oh my God, where have I been? But like I'm just saying, if you call South Korea and you hear K-pop in the background, you called the wrong Korea. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you call, yeah, you know what I mean. So if you hear people screaming, getting their teeth rearranged in their mouth, it's most likely North Korea.
Okay.
So, which I heard also happened to that Otto kid. Remember that kid? He was taking posters off the wall in North Korea. Yeah. I heard that they like took his teeth out of his mouth and rearranged them or something. That might have been a big hoax, but he definitely got killed by them. So really sad. So another update was that the 2 women who had done this had been arrested, but not just them. Apparently 7 men subsequently described by South Korean intelligence agencies as spies had orchestrated the attack, one of them having a doctorate in chemistry. Apparently...
where could that substance have come from?
I know, right? Some guy's just like, give me a minute. He's like in the stall. He's like mixing stuff, and he's like, give me a minute. And then he spills it on his lap, and he's like, oh no.
Is there a shower?
Now he's washing his dick in the sink next to the guy washing his hands. Oh no.
Cue the Curb Your Enthusiasm music.
I'll sing the whole song. Apparently, the 2 women confessed what they did. What the fuck? There we go.
There's one every episode.
Yep. Apparently, the 2 women confessed that they did not know what was happening when they committed the crime. This is why I chose this story. This is fucking insane. The 2 women, 29-year-old Doan Tai Huang,
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yes, and 25-year-old Siti Aisyah thought that they were a part of a hidden camera TV show, and they claimed that they did not know that what they rubbed on the man's face was toxic. The authorities claimed that this may be a lie because the women immediately washed it off in the bathroom because they, quote-unquote, knew it was a toxin. Authorities also claimed that they most likely followed through with the hit because they were low-income sex workers who could not turn down a large amount of money to finish the hit. So they're like, you obviously took the money. Even with all of the speculation, the 2 women claimed that they never meant to harm or kill anyone, which is, I kind of believe them because they were very innocent. I know that like they were sex workers or something like that, not like completely innocent, but like they were trying to be. I think one of them tried out for like.
Korea's Got Talent.
No, it's like American Idol
Yeah.
of I don't know if she was in Malaysia doing it, if she was in Vietnam doing it. I don't really remember where she was, but they were just like young girls who were just like, okay, and I
Money
think
to wipe something on a guy's face. Yeah, sure.
I think they also thought they were gonna be on TV.
Yeah.
That's a thing too, and
Yeah.
like of course, like I believe these girls over the North Korean government and a scientist who spilled juice all over his penis in the bathroom. You know, penis juice.
Penis juice.
You got penis VX.
VXPP.
So, in order to shorten this already long story, the Malaysian government claimed he died by nerve poison. Okay, I'm gonna list you off a couple things.
Okay. List them.
Malaysian government claimed he died by nerve poison. North Korea claimed it was a heart attack. Malaysia said they wouldn't release the body. North Korea sent someone to steal the body who was caught. So North Korea then held all Malaysian tourists visiting North Korea hostage. Malaysia then released the body a month and a half later, which then North Korea released the Malaysians. A trial happened, and the two women were either set free or received a minor sentence of under a year. Moral of the story, Kim Jong-un completely got away with murdering his own half-brother. And this is my last sentence. So I want to say in conclusion, never talk shit because you just may get hit with a palm full of bone-hurting juice.
Oh. Ouch. Oof. Owie. Owie.
Or should I say Indian Joker?
I can't believe I made that reference before you even made that,
I know.
that closing statement.
I almost said it, and I didn't want to allude to it yet.
Yeah, holy cow.
But it's just so insane how
That's one way to kill someone.
these...
It's very, like, elaborate.
Not only that, but these 7 guys who helped carry out the hit and used these 2 girls to get away with it,
Yeah.
I don't even think they were like... There's
That's
no
a lot of-
consequences.
That's a lot of work when you could just, like, get one person, like, an actual hitman to do...
I think they wanted to
His
make it
job.
look like an accident because if they got a hitman to kill the brother, it's way too obvious.
He accidentally got this super, like, crazy chemical thing on his face.
Well, they
Can you
didn't-
not test it?
No, they did test it, and that's how they found out that it was VX.
Yeah.
But it looks like a heart attack.
Yeah.
So I think they go, this guy with a fake ID, this fat dude, had a heart attack, whatever. He was 45 years old. Sometimes that happens if you're overweight. Sure. And then they went, this is kind of weird. We have CCTV of these girls doing this to him before he had a heart attack. And then they went and tested for, neurotoxins and stuff, found this. And then North Korea's like, give us the body right now. And they're like, no, we're testing it. They tested, found that, and then they got all pissed off. And they're like, he died of a heart attack, stop making up shit. And they just tried to cover it up. But they wanted to get rid of him because they didn't like all the secrets he was telling, basically.
Secrets are not good.
Secrets are no fun. Secrets hurt someone by rubbing bone-hurting juice on their face.
That's true.
So
It's a fact now.
it's a fact.
It happened. It's a fact.
So that was the story of the assassination of Kim Jong-nam, and it's absolutely insane. I knew none of that. That was in 2017. I should know more about that.
Yeah.
I don't know why
we were damn near making this podcast when that happened.
Yeah, and like, well, that was around the same time as like the scares, right? Like when they're like talking shit to each other. Or was that like 2018?
I don't know.
That was probably a little bit after, but like,
Was this when people were dressing up like clowns and chasing people out of forests? Because that could have easily overtaken that story.
no, this is the year where people were fucking killing people at airports with greasy chicken finger hands. That was that year.
The Colonel got him. God damn you, Colonel.
Anyway, that's my story. Crazy. If you guys want to look more into the trial, I suggest you do. It's just so much information and so much geopolitical stuff going on. There's a lot of beef between Malaysia and North Korea after that. And, of course, America. You guys know a little bit about that if you're listening from the States.
Yeah.
So, yeah, check it out. It's very interesting. And, yeah.
Speaking of trial, have you watched the Aaron Hernandez
No,
Netflix
not yet.
thing.
Not yet.
It's really fucking good.
I know. I've heard really good things about it.
I was at work and someone at work was saying like, they're like, yeah, I don't watch football, but I watched the first episode and I ended up watching the whole thing, so I couldn't stop.
You don't have to watch football to watch that.
I mean, it's about a football player, but
Yeah, but I watch like stuff about like the subtext is about like
horse racing.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, sneakers. I watched like a documentary on sneakerheads, and I'm like, I don't even collect sneakers. I don't even find them like cool. I think they're a waste of money. I'm not disrespecting you, but like I found the history of it so fascinating.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
But I did Riley and I, my fiance, we did the same fucking thing. We started the first episode and we ended up watching like all 3.
Oh, there's only 3?
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool though.
But it's a
3 and
really
done.
yeah, it's really fucking good. It's a really interesting story that like I followed the story when it was happening and there's still stuff in there that I didn't know about.
I heard about some stuff that like people were talking about and they're like, I didn't know this about him, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't know that about him. So it's kind of like a similar story where
It's really well done.
you think you know the whole story and then there's like parts and you're like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Goes a lot deeper. All right, so I'll get into my story.
So Aaron Hernandez, right?
So today I'm going to talk about a weapon of war.
VX.
Yes, VX. What if I just did a whole story about VX? No.
That'd be apt.
So this weapon of war is so extreme you might think Bruce Wayne would have credit creating it.
Is it a boomerang that kills people?
Now, why would I say Bruce Wayne? You know, what could Batman have to do with this? Well, let's take a look at the tools Batman used. There was the Batarang, the Bat Grapple, the Bat Bomb, the Bat Shark Repellent.
I like the Bat Bomb because it looked like a bowling ball with a wick coming out of it.
Okay. And then the Bat Computer, and of course there's the Batmobile.
Yes.
Now, Toby, I did something very sneaky there, which, you know, to no surprise, I'm a sneaky guy. I do that. Sometimes I get you.
I don't like it when you're sneaky. You scare me.
I like to have some tricks up my sleeve.
When you're standing in my closet.
But did any of those bat gadgets catch your ear that something Batman never actually had?
See, you want me to say shark repellent, which is not true because he definitely had it on the Adam West version of the show, if I'm correct.
It had also appeared in a comic book in 1958, the 117th, not episode, but
issue.
That's the word.
Oh.
Of the comic, the Batman comic.
I'm gonna go ahead and say Batmobile because it's not a weapon; it's a vehicle.
No, he never had a bat bomb.
He did have a bat bomb.
No, he was defusing that bomb. That wasn't a bat bomb.
Oh yeah, he was trying to get rid of it, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you pick up a bomb and throw it, is that your bomb now? If a tree falls on a bomb and no
Tree
one's
bomb.
around to bomb it,
Tree balm. I
Is
bet
it
there's a
still a
tree lip balm. Tree balm.
the bat bomb.
So today I'm going to tell you about a weapon named the Bat Bomb.
I'm embarrassed. I said that was my favorite part of the bat.
You know, he might have...
Arsenal.
Okay. At the end of the day, Batman didn't kill people, so why would he have a bomb, you know?
That's true.
But he probably had a goddamn bat bomb
I like
at
the
one point.
bat revolver.
The bat grenade. The bat axe that he killed people with.
Bat chainsaw.
So the Bat Bomb was the idea that was dreamt up by a man while he was chipping away at plaque and fighting the good fight against gingivitis.
That's a hard fight.
It is a hard fight. I mean,
50% Americans.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's an accurate number, but I'm going to go ahead and say it.
you said it, so it's factual.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. The mastermind behind this weapon was a dental surgeon by the name of Lytle S. Adams. And now I hate the fucking name Lytle, so I'm just going to call him Adams for now on.
I kind of like Lytle.
Is that a name?
Wait, is that Indian Joker's first name?
Lytle? I don't think so. Lytle S. Adams was, little side note, actually a close friend to First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt.
Oh. I don't know anything about her either.
Me either.
Or her husband. Which
Yeah.
one was in a wheelchair?
That was her husband, FDR.
Oh, okay. That one.
Yeah.
There's 2 Roosevelts, though.
There were.
Teddy was on a horse.
Teddy was
Elephant.
way long ago.
Yeah, he was the guy who would, like, big game hunt.
Yeah.
You can't get them mixed up.
He had that big old mustache, but somehow you could still see him big old chompers underneath that big old mustache. Never understood that. So the inspiration of Adam's idea of this so-called bat bomb came from a trip he took to the Carlsbad Cavern National Park. And that is where he saw so many goddamn fucking bats. It gave him the idea to come up with a weapon that he could turn bats into incinerary bats.
Wait.
I mean, who doesn't have that idea, right?
I love that.
Yeah.
Wait, Carlsbad Cavern?
Yeah.
That's California.
New Mexico, I think.
Oh, there's...
I'm pretty sure this one's in New Mexico.
Oh, okay. We have a Carlsbad over here somewhere. There's only so many names.
There's so many Carlsbads.
That's the thing you guys need to know about the world.
Yeah. Well,
there's 50 Springfields.
Yeah, exactly.
And
that's what I was about
Simpsons
to say.
live in none of them.
That's why they named it as, because there was one in every
Exactly.
state, except for they were talking about Springfield, Oregon.
No, they weren't. Oh, because Groening is from there. Graining.
My mom used to serve him beer. I never told you that story?
No, let's not hear it.
All right. No, my mom worked at Duffy's Tavern.
Oh,
and
Duff beer.
And she would serve this weird guy who'd sit in the corner and draw on his book all night.
Oh, your dad?
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's why in the Simpsons it's Duff beer, because it's named after Duffy's Tavern.
Oh, and you're just sketching away?
Yep.
Look at that.
Yep. So Adams decided that his idea of fire bats was such a good idea that he wrote a letter to the White House in January of 1942. Just a little bit more than a month after the attacks of Pearl Harbor.
So he was ready.
Oh, he was pissed.
He was ready.
And I'm ready.
He was ready.
And I'm coming.
He was going to capitalize on this idea. He's like, I'm going to wait till the war's like...
Yeah, I'm going to sit on this one.
Yeah, they're going to pay me a lot.
Mm-hmm. So Adams noted that he was impressed by the overall strength of bats.
Did you fight a lot of bats?
This guy fucking hated bats.
This guy's like, I'll tell you one thing about a bat. You punch that motherfucker,
he's coming back. He's coming back.
He's coming bat?
He also noted their nocturnal lifestyle, making them more, with the strength in the nocturnal stuff, it made him think that they were strong enough to carry bombs, and that their movement at night would help them go undetected.
Here's the thing. A 1940s bomb is very different from like a bomb that they can make now. They can make a bomb that could fit in your pocket now, probably.
They can put a bomb on a drone and have a 12-year-old fly right into your mama's kitchen.
they were taking. Remember when that guy made an underwear bomb?
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Yeah,
what a bad bomb to go off. Am I right?
I mean, not to make a joke about it, but the Boston
no one was hurt.
The Boston Marathon. Yeah. They made a
Backpack.
bomb out of a fucking pressure cooker, so it's like...
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I get nervous every time I use my pressure cooker.
Scares me.
I literally turn it on and I step out of my kitchen. I don't like it.
The part where you release the steam, I like to do it without gloves because it makes Riley really pissed off.
I do it with a pool cue.
I just do it really. I do it really fast like a ninja, and she yells at me.
Nope.
So Adams also notes that he believed that this was a perfect way to strike revenge on Pearl Harbor because the common architecture of Japan was constructed with wood and paper.
Say that again?
So he thought that incendiary weapons, fire weapons, were perfect against Japan because a lot of the architecture was made of wood and paper.
Yeah, actually.
There was not a lot of concrete. And so setting off a firebomb in like tons of trees in a concentrated area would conflict tons of damage.
Oh, I guess you're kind of right.
I mean, in all reality, as awful as it is, like it was a good idea.
You know what's crazy? If he didn't have a full set of teeth, which I assume he did, this would sound fucking insane. Like if he was missing one tooth,
it only takes one.
It only takes. If you're missing one tooth, literally your credibility goes out the window. Okay, that's not true. If you're missing one of the fronts,
yeah,
you have to have all your fronts.
Yeah,
you could have no teeth in the back. No one knows. That's your little secret.
That's your secret to keep.
But just like slip a little chiclet gum in there, and now all of a sudden you're meeting with the president talking about
your breath
bat bombs.
Fresh
bat bombs.
So Adams believed that if a timed-released incinerary could be attached to bats with some kind of container containing as many bats as possible, could be dropped over a city after dark, the bats would simply roost and burn Tokyo to the ground.
You know what this reminds me of? Remember when we did that story, or I told that story about that lady Olga of Kiev, I think her name was?
The pigeons.
Yeah.
That was related in this article. It,
No
was
way.
Yeah, I had a link.
It had like she tied like little sulfur bags to like these birds, and they roosted in like their houses or whatever, and they burned all the shit down.
Yep. So I think it should also be noted that in his letter to the White House, Adams said that bats were, in quotes, the lowest form of animal life. What? This guy really fucking hated bats. And he also said, until now, reasons for its creation have remained unexplained. So this Adams guy thought that bats were created by God strictly so he could come up with the idea to turn them into firebombs.
Okay.
To seek vengeance against a country.
I have a beef because we all know that seagulls are the worst.
Yeah. Goddamn goals.
Yeah, but the problem is they're loudmouth pieces of shit.
They're gonna alert all of the guards.
Yeah, exactly. You drop a French fry, all you have to do is play the 7th inning, take me out to the ball game, and you're fucked.
They come a flying.
So I like bats. I think bats are like weirdly cute.
They're one of my favorite animals for sure.
They're really cute.
I think they're fucking
Some
awesome.
are. I don't like
I'd have a pet bat.
I don't like those ones with the big weird noses. You ever seen those
Vampire bats?
No. It's like a weird one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure vampire bats have the noses that are kind of like an upside down heart.
Maybe. I could find a weirder one.
I'm sure you could.
They don't have a name for it yet.
Yeah. So, yeah, this was his whole idea, and it turns out FDR fucking loved the idea and approved it to be put in motion.
That's so FDR of him.
Totally FDR. So after FDR approved the idea, the United States Air Force was assigned to creating this weapon, with Adams, the dental surgeon, leading his brand new military team, which included a mammalogist.
You know what's crazy also? I forgot he was a dental surgeon. I made that teeth comment.
Yeah.
He's just taking all the fucking ideas from the toothless people he's working on.
I thought you were trying to say, I totally thought you were making that connection that he was a dental surgeon, so he had good teeth.
Maybe subliminally. Maybe. Subconsciously.
Okay, but yeah, so he had a mammalologist, which I'm only assuming is a
Mammologist.
A person who knows mammals.
Yeah, mammalologist.
Jack Von Aboker. And he also had actor Tim Holt.
Steve Holt.
And other men who were noted as one of them was a former gangster, and another man was a former hotel manager.
Is this the fucking League of Shitty Gentlemen?
Basically.
He's just like, he's like, you need to assemble a team, and he's like, okay, who do I got in my roster?
He's like, that guy at the front desk at that hotel was real nice last night.
He's like, I slid him a 10, and
he had a way about the way he talked. I liked it.
God, he looked good in that tiny fez hat.
I like that, man. I want to see him put bombs on bats.
Did you see how many rings on keys on hooks he had behind him? That was incredible.
And he needed the gangster, to bust some heads around the base if someone was acting up.
Yeah, he's like, okay, here's what you're going to do, Tony. You're going to walk into Japan, right? We're going to leave a big plate of spaghetti. You're going to start slurping, okay? You're going to distract everybody. Then we're going to release all the fucking bats. And the actor's like, what do I do? And he's like,
you are the bats.
He's like...
He's like hanging upside down.
Bad news. We got to cut off your fucking nose. We're going to turn it up. You're going to look like Whoville.
So there were many elements included with this concept that needed to be taken into consideration, like how to make the container that would keep the bats safe with like temperature and like, falling from the fucking sky.
Oh, before we blow them up?
Yeah.
He's like, the one thing we need to do is make it nice for them.
Their last moments.
They're traveling far.
Imagine how terrifying this would be for a bat. You get put into like a metal cylinder, you get thrown out of a plane, and you're just like in a new country and you have to fly around. And the second you get comfortable, they just fucking light you up.
You know what my question is? Is the sky the same in every country, or do they know that?
Well, I mean, the world's flat, so it should be the same.
True. I'm not even going to question that. This isn't a joke. I know you want to laugh. Stop laughing.
So another big element of this whole idea.
Oh, now they have elephants?
Yes, elephant bats.
Sorry.
I mean, honestly, I think the most important thing is picking the species of bat.
Yes.
You
You want ones that like Japanese blood. You know, those bats?
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of bat would fly closer to a Japanese house than another bat.
I'm sure they actually put a lot of thought into like which ones are good at like which ones nest in certain areas, you know?
I see what you mean. Okay. Yeah.
And like which ones were small enough but also strong enough to carry the incinerary like explosives.
Yeah, good point.
So after many tests, the team had narrowed it down to the Mexican free-tailed bat, which does have one of those pushed-up nose.
Oh. To smell you better with.
Yeah. So Adams had to ask permission from the National Park Service to harvest a large number of these Mexican free-tailed bats from caves on government property.
Oh, of course they're on government, quote-unquote, government property.
I mean, everything's government
How do you
property.
harvest a bat? Oh, I actually...
You just scoop them with a shovel.
I think I have seen it. They just put a big net by the entrance of the cave, and when they fly out,
They
they
throw
just...
a firecracker in there?
Probably. Bro, get used to it.
Yeah. This is going to be the smallest explosion you see today.
Hope you're not scared.
So Adams also had the original plan to use white phosphorus, which is like an explosive.
I think that's what they use for Olga Kiev, right?
So what?
Did they use phosphorus for the Kiev Olga when she like burned down that thing? It was like
That's too long ago for me to remember.
it was like I think it was like some kind of phosphorus in
Okay.
like the sacks or something. So
Yeah, but so it wasn't until they added American chemist Louis Pfizer, and he was the one who changed the attack plans to his own invention, napalm.
I thought you were gonna say VX.
No.
You know those chemists. Chemists are fucking ruining all of our stories. They're making them very violent.
That's true.
But napalm's
Napalm's a big one.
Fucked.
Yeah.
Napalm, from what I've seen in Vietnam movies, when they drop it, it's sticky. Correct?
I thought it was just like basically fire falling from the sky.
It's not just like a big fucking sticky hand coming down. I don't mean it's just. I don't mean
You
it's
see the
just,
tail.
I don't mean it's honey. I don't mean it's just sticky. Like, I mean it's fire.
But if you get in water, it like doesn't come off kind of
No,
thing.
but like it's not just fire where like you could run away with it. If it like touches you, it's like goop. It like sticks
it's
on
like,
you.
It's like tar almost.
So it like burns through. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Tar.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about napalm except for the fact that that shit's fucked up.
Well, I'm wearing a Fight Club shirt right now. Don't they talk about how to make napalm in Fight Club? They say like orange
I haven't seen that movie in years.
orange juice and animal fat or something like that.
Is that really it?
Well, there's controversy behind it because it was more than that. But everybody was like, "You can't teach people how to make napalm," and they're like, "Well, that's not the whole thing." But
It's like the Mitch Hedberg joke. He's like, I squeezed lemon and some lime into a glass, and that wasn't Sprite. There's something else in that shit.
very true.
Okay, so it turned out making a bomb that would safely release bats with other bombs attached to them was harder than they had predicted.
No.
And this crew ran into some issues.
Who ran into the most issues? Was the mafia guy or the fucking doctor or the actor
The mafia guy that doesn't even know how to use a screwdriver.
or the hotel guy? Fuck.
I mean, I can book you a room, but my God, these bats are disgusting.
this is a movie.
So a series of tests were conducted, and in one instance, an accident resulted. The Carlsbad Army Airfield near Carlsbad, New Mexico,
Oh, that's
which
where
is why
it
I'm
is.
assuming it was
There
in
we
New
go.
Mexico, was set on fire when armed bats were accidentally released, and some of the bats roosted underneath a. You want to guess what they roosted underneath of at a military base?
Oh, is it the Alamo? Where is that? That's Texas?
That's Texas.
Fuck. Is it Area 51?
No, I'm talking about a certain object that they roosted underneath. What on a military base would be the last thing you want an incinerary bat to sit underneath?
The Armory.
The fuel tank.
Oh, I was close. Because if the Armory catches on fire, now you got bullets shooting at you.
Yeah.
As Andy from The Office says, the fire's shooting at us.
Yes. So yeah, one of the bats roosted underneath a fuel tank, and the incendiary it incinerated the like area.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, you can look at that as like, you can look at two ways. That's either a win or a loss. I think that means it was a huge success.
It just
In
means
a
that
way,
they
it
love.
kind of proves that. Wait a second, this might actually be terrifying.
Yeah, because that's the thing where we all know Japan has the most fuel tanks per capita.
True.
But no, honestly, they're roosting in places, and if it's exploding a fuel tank, it's bound to burn down a paper and wood house.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Another thing I was just thinking about was have you ever done that thing where you like just throw a rock in the general area of a bat?
Is that a thing
Mm-hmm.
people play?
Yeah. It's actually like really crazy to do because like
I've never
'cause
tried-
They're sonars,
Oh, I see.
and
what
so
you
if
mean.
you
Yeah,
throw anything unexpected that way, they like swoop in these like crazy aerial moves.
yeah. Oh,
And I was thinking about like it'd be really hard like if you knew the bats had
you
explosives,
can't shoot it.
it'd be hard as fuck to like you wouldn't be able to shoot it or like get rid of it.
Like-
you'd be able to dodge everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost impossible to catch a bat. If you've seen Black Sheep with Chris Farley, oh my god, have you tried to catch a bat? There's a bowl of chocolate pudding in my underpants. That's a different part of the movie, but you get it.
Yeah. So following this setback of them basically almost blowing up the entire military base, the project was handed off to the Navy in August of 1934. So this is only like a year into it.
Wait, it went backwards in time.
It was 42. Now it's 43.
You just said 34.
Sorry, 43.
Oh, okay.
Fucking dyslexic.
I was like, oh, the bats made a time travel machine.
So the Navy decided to rename this whole thing to Project X-Ray, which is pretty fucking badass.
Is it? It's just the word X-ray.
It's a cool word. You ever seen it?
It's like when somebody
It makes me happy.
There's a certain amount of cool words out there that everybody agrees are cool.
Laser,
Mammoth,
mammoth.
saber-tooth.
Yeah, saber-tooth's pretty cool.
It's cool. No,
Yeah.
I'm saying it is cool.
Yeah, I like that one.
Um,
X-ray.
Ironside.
Ironside?
Like Ironsides. Like good old Ironsides.
What the fuck is an Ironside?
It's a
You mean Iron Sight?
No, it's a warship that has iron sides on it.
Okay, Iron Sight's a good one too.
Don't try to convince me of your half-ass guess.
So
You're not naming any of our fucking operations from now on.
So yeah, they named it X-ray, but then the Navy misheard them or something and said, "Wait, did you say bats?" And they're like, "Nah, fuck that." And so they handed it off to the Marine Corps. Hoorah.
I thought they said Operation X-Ray, and they said, "Did you say Operation Bats?" And I thought they just renamed it Operation Bats.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm just. I don't know why the Navy bailed on it. I just thought it was funny that they're like, "Oh wait, hold on, bats? No, no."
They're like, "Oh, you think this is a
Give
good
it to the
idea?"
Marines. So after some time, the Marines thought they had the whole bat bomb thing finished and decided to test it on what they called the Japanese village, which was like a fake city built by the military as close as similar to like what the bats would be trying to destroy, but in Utah. So they basically made it like a tiny little Japanese village in Utah.
the Japan of America.
Exactly. So the observers of this test wrote this about the test. A reasonable number of destructive fires can be started in spite of the extremely small size of the units. Total units. The main advantage of the units would seem to be their placement within the enemy structures without the knowledge of the householder or fire watchers, thus allowing the fire to establish itself before being discovered.
Operation Firewatch. That's a cool one too. Sorry, you keep going.
No, that was the end of the quote. Did you have anything to...
So they're basically just in like military jargon being like, if the bat goes in the right part of the house, it burned down.
Once that bat's in the attic, it's done.
If the Japanese guy don't know the bat's in the house, he gonna be more surprised. It's like, of course. It's like,
Yeah.
if it flies anywhere near a person and it fucking explodes, it's gonna be horrible.
Yeah.
Like,
And bats are so quick too. Like you wouldn't see that. There's obviously a little red blinking light on it because it's an explosive.
and like, I think the one thing they really have to think about is like, this is all chance. You can't control where a bat flies to a certain extent.
But
you
also-
might be able to a little bit, but
Well, I'm gonna get into it.
throw a rock.
I'm gonna get into it. But I mean, no matter what, where it lands, it's either gonna be in a fucking tree or on a house.
Oh yeah, or just fly really far away. I guess.
Bats can't fly that long though. They have to rest.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think they fly very far. They can fly far, but like also it's like once the sun's starting to come up, like they land.
Kind of like birds, where like birds are not. You never see like a bird flying for too long, right? Maybe like a goose.
Yeah, them goose they fly. Them goose fly from Canada all the way to
I'm like
Uzbekistan.
I'm like the sixth member of that team. They're like, oh, get Alex Tobin, the bird guy. I'm like, birds don't fly too long, but you get your hands on a goose. You
get
don't
a
even need an airplane no more.
You get a goose the right time of the year, and that puppy's gonna soar. They're basically classy seagulls.
Basically a Boeing.
It's a seagull that's going to the ball.
There we go.
So, the bat bomb, aka X-ray, was deemed an effective weapon, and it was said to actually be more effective than the standard incendiary bomb used at that time. It was said regular incendiary bombs would probably give about 106 to 400 fires per bomb,
Okay.
but the bat bomb would give, do you want to guess? So normal one was like 160 to 400. What do you think the bat bomb was?
800? Did I overshoot it or did I undershoot it? Katie gets mad when I overshoot stuff. She's like, "Why would you say that?"
You're not
high?"
even fucking close.
Oh.
The bat bomb would give 3,600 to 4,700 fires.
What does that mean? Fires.
Individual fires.
Oh. And what was the first thing you said? The 106 was what? Not bats? Just
Yeah, that
dropping
was
shit?
the regular incendiary bomb they were using at that time.
Oh,
Was
okay.
only 100, basically like 100 to 400 fires. This one is 3,000 to almost 5,000.
I see what you mean. You're saying that like basically regardless
100
of
times bigger.
regardless of where they land, there's gonna be at least, I don't know the percentage, but like 800 times the number of fires. I don't know. That could be completely wrong, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
there's gonna be a large more amount of fires.
Yes,
God, I sound so stupid.
it's hard to.
Large more amount.
More's butter.
Strap a-
It's for fires.
Strap a bomb to a bat.
Strap a bomb to a violent fire.
You strap a bomb to a baseball. I can throw out to Japan.
So now there's a reason why most people have never heard of this bat bomb / X-ray, and that is because the program was canceled by Fleet Admiral Ernest J. King because he heard the bomb wouldn't be ready for another year and canned it.
And this was 42 or 43?
At this point, this was 44, and they're like, oh, it's not going to be ready until 45, and he was like, fuck it, we're done. Can you imagine working that hard, and then they're just like, oh, we can't wait another year. But it's also the reason why they canned it was because this was, I think this was the same time they were working on nukes.
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, obviously.
And so they're just like, why worry about this if we can just nuke them?
We know how World War II ended for America, at least.
Yeah.
Which is horribly sad.
Yeah.
But
One of the biggest crimes against humanity, but yeah.
yeah, I think it should have never been invented. But yeah, I mean, imagine if the war ended in a more fun way with like
Bats.
Please stop sending bats over here. Please.
I wouldn't necessarily say fun, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
You know, a little less dismal.
Yeah. So at the end of the testing, it was believed that the bat bomb used $2 million to fund the program,
That ain't shit.
which today would be $19 million.
That's shit. Still, probably not shit, right?
Yeah.
We're 16 trillion in debt, right? Let's add a couple million.
Something
to it.
like that. Who makes the money? Let's just keep printing money.
Let's add a couple bat bills to this bullshit.
So at the end of the day, it makes you think what other military weapons with this much power could have been canceled and never revealed. And I'll leave off with one last little quote here, which was, think of thousands of fires breaking out simultaneously over a circle of 40 miles in diameter for every bomb dropped. Japan could have been devastated, yet with small loss of life, referring to the bats, which is a really fucked up quote. To be like, we're not worried.
Loss of life is
they're only referring to the bats as a loss of
not
life,
the
not
enemy.
not the enemy. 40-mile in diameter is how far the bats would spread out.
Holy fuck!
Before exploding.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But do they just like press a button, or when they land, do they explode? What's the mechanism?
I think it was probably a timed thing.
Oh, okay.
It'd be like at 6 a.m. it would go off or something like that.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of glad it didn't go through for the bat's sake and for like I know we're at war and everything like that. I don't want to sound like I wasn't there. I wasn't like, oh, come on, we don't need to do that. Like, you know, we were at war and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like, it was a brilliant military weapon idea.
It is pretty smart.
Yeah.
How ridiculous it is.
Yeah.
But we all know fish.
Fish is the way to bomb.
I mean, let's not kid ourselves right now, right? Japanese love sushi.
Come on, stop it.
Stop
you right there.
Eating a piece of nigiri with a bomb on top of it, they don't even notice. They're tiny bombs. Very, very tiny bombs.
Micro bombs.
You feed it to the fish. You feed them little bombs. Anyway, I think that's all we have for you today. Government, think about it.
Think about it.
Fish
Get back
bomb,
to us.
Fish
Get
bomb.
back to us.
And we appreciate you guys listening, and we love telling you guys these stories, even if they are dumb or sad.
What are you trying to say?
We got way more laughs out of your story than my story. My story is just like VX on the face and you're dead.
I'm going for gasps.
Anyway, if you guys want any more information, go to campstrange.com. Subscribe, rate, review. We would really appreciate it if you could rate us, hot or not. Hopefully hot. Right? Is that the rating?
Yeah.
That's how we rate.
50-50.
Zuckerberg us.
100 or 0.
What farm animal do we look like? Right? You've seen Social Network, right? Anyway. Okay, we'll keep going. If you guys want any merch, we have that. If you guys want any social media, we have that. We don't have to tell you. You guys know how social media works. You'll find us. You guys are resourceful.
You know how to Google. If you can find this podcast, and you can find a fucking Instagram.
Some people say resourceful. Some people say resourceful.
Resourceful.
I like the resourceful people. Before... Oh, if you guys have any interesting stories you want to tell us or send us or comments or questions, send it over to campstrangepodcast@gmail.com. That's cool.
Very cool.
And if you guys want to hear an idea from David that we also have in our merch store, David, what do we have?
Oh, shit, we're doing this right now.
I just totally got you.
I got a big old water bottle with 8 holes at the bottom, so when you fill it up, you gotta drink fast. You gotta stay hydrated, drink fast.
I have Bruce Wayne running into your village strapped to the T. Because guess what? He don't use guns.
Strapped to the T or to the teeth?
I don't know, but
I thought it was teeth.
He don't have none. You know why? Guess who sent him there? Dental surgeon John Smith.
Close.
Fuck.
Something Adams. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
His first name was stupid. Lytle.
Oh, put some soup in my bowl, ladle, bitch.
I've got a book of baby names, not including Lytle.
I have absinthe. Take it. Trip with me.
I have an abscess on my back that needs to be drained.
It's not an absinthe. An abscess?
Abscess.
I have an absent mark on my grade report card.
I've got a workout that'll get you one big old ab. It's called the ab.
You're too quick.
It's the ab app.
I have the tooth your uncle don't have no more. I took it from him. You know, he don't have no tooth no more.
Is that what's going on?
Well, your uncle?
I got a soap that's made of dirt with screwdrivers in it.
I feel like we're just like...
naming things around us.
I feel like this whole thing is just a stream of consciousness. I'm like,
Take a journey with us.
I have Kirby, and he ate a cactus on February 21st.
We are Bill Walton calling in to give basketball commentary from the desert.
I have a picture frame that killed your wife and made it look like you.
Oh,
You've been framed, bitch.
We're done.
Okay, we're done. Thank you guys for tuning in. We love telling these stories, and we love that you stick around even after this bullshit. David, do you have anything to say before we leave?
Check the expiration date on your milk. Trust me.
I think you said that. Say another one.
What? Have I said? It's always a good reminder though, because with the holidays passing through, you always forget to check the fucking expiration dates. You know what? Check them on all of it. Check them on all of it.
On your ham.
On your ham, your slammy.
And don't forget to stay strange.